Welcome to System Reboot Zone, the podcast for the cracked, the creative, and the relentless. I'm your host, Adam, and this is where low-end legends rise and broken systems get rebuilt. We talk tech, tactics, and triumphs. If you've ever made magic with broken gear, this podcast is for you. Let's get into it. How to create content on a potato PC. You don't need expensive gear. Here's something nobody wants to admit. You don't need a $2,000 computer to create content. I know what you see on YouTube. Every tech creator showing off their dual graphics card setups, their 64 gigabytes of RAM, their $500 CPUs. It makes you think you can't even start without spending thousands of dollars. That's BS. You can create videos, podcasts, streams, graphics, all of it on a computer that most people would call not good enough. You just need to be smart about how you do it. Let me show you how. The truth about content creation hardware. Different types of content creation stress your computer in different ways. Understanding this is the key to working around your hardware limitations. Video editing needs decent RAM and storage speed more than anything. 8 gigabytes of RAM is the minimum. 16 gigabytes is comfortable. Your hard drive matters too. If you have an old spinning hard drive, editing will be slow and painful. Streaming needs real-time encoding, which is harder than recording. But here's the secret. Your graphics card can do most of the heavy lifting if you set it up right. Audio production is actually super light on system resources. Even an older computer can handle podcasting and music production just fine. Graphic design depends on how complex your projects are. Simple designs, no problem. Huge files with tons of layers, that's when you might struggle. The point is, you can absolutely start creating content on whatever you have right now. The streaming hack, hardware encoding. This is the single most important thing for anyone creating content on a weak computer. Your graphics card, even a cheap one, has a special chip built into it just for encoding video. This chip does all the hard work of turning your stream or recording into a video file, and it barely affects your computer's performance. This is huge. Without this, your weak CPU would be struggling to encode video while also running your game or whatever you're recording. With hardware encoding, your GPU handles it separately. Here's what you need to know. NVIDIA cards have something called NVENC. AMD cards have VCE or AME. Intel integrated graphics, even the basic graphics built into your CPU, have QuickSync. All of these work in OBS, which is the free software everyone uses for streaming and recording. Setting up OBS the right way. Open OBS and go to Settings, then Output. Under Encoder, you'll see options like NVENC H.264 for NVIDIA, AMD HW H.264 for AMD, QuickSync H.264 for Intel. Pick the one that matches your hardware. Boom, you just made streaming way easier on your system. Bitrate is how much data per second you're using. Higher is better quality, but bigger files. For recording 1080p, 6,000 to 10,000 kbps. For recording 720p, 3,000 to 5,000 kbps. For streaming, whatever your upload speed can handle. Here's a pro tip. Record at 720p instead of 1080p. On mobile devices, where tons of people watch content, you can barely tell the difference, but your computer will thank you. Plus, 720p uploads faster and loads quicker for viewers with slower internet. Audio, the easy win. Want to know a secret? Audio production is way easier on your computer than video. Audacity is free, runs on basically anything, and is all you need for podcasts, voiceovers, or music recording. A computer that struggles with video editing will breeze through audio work. But here's what actually matters. Get a decent USB microphone. Seriously, a $50 to $100 USB mic will make you sound 10 times better than the best laptop microphone ever made. Popular options, Audio-Technica AT2020 USB, Blue Yeti, or Samson Q2U. Your recording environment matters more than your equipment. A cheap mic in a quiet room sounds better than an expensive mic in a noisy room. Hang blankets, record in your closet, really, or put pillows around you. This stuff works. Use Audacity's magic noise reduction. 1. Record 10 seconds of silence at the start. 2. Select that silent part. 3. Effect, noise reduction, get noise profile. 4. Select your whole recording. 5. Apply noise reduction. This simple trick removes background hum and makes you sound way more professional. Video editing without losing your mind. Video editing on a weak computer is possible, but you need to be strategic. The number one technique, proxy editing. This is a game changer. Here's how it works. Your editor creates low-quality copies of your videos called proxies that are way smaller and easier to work with. You edit using these small files and everything runs smooth. Then when you export, the editor automatically uses your original high-quality files for the final video. DaVinci Resolve, which is free and professional grade, has this built in. Import your footage, generate proxies, and suddenly you can edit smoothly even on a potato. Other smart tricks. Render overnight. Can't do real-time playback? Who cares? Start the render before bed, wake up to a finished video. Edit at lower preview quality. Most editors let you edit at half or quarter resolution. Your final export is still full quality. You're just making the editing easier. Render in sections for long videos. Render your intro separately. Render the main content in chunks. Render your outro. Then stick them together. This keeps your editor from choking on a huge timeline. Turn off effects while editing. If playback is stuttering, temporarily disable effects. Turn them back on before you export. Smart recording decisions. The choices you make while recording affect how hard editing will be later. Record at your target resolution. Making 720p content? Record at 720p. Don't record at 4K and then scale down. You're just making life harder for yourself. Use 30 FPS instead of 60 FPS. For talking head videos, tutorials, vlogs, or most YouTube content, 30 FPS is totally fine. 60 FPS doubles your file size and makes editing way harder. Save 60 FPS for gaming footage or action content. Get it right during recording. Good lighting, stable shots, and clean audio at recording time means less fixing and editing. Less editing means your weak computer has less work to do. Record audio separately. If you can, use your phone or a separate recorder for audio. It'll sound better than your camera's built-in mic, and you can sync it up easily in editing. Software that actually works on weak hardware. Not all software is created equal. Some programs are bloated and slow, others are lean and efficient. For video editing, DaVinci Resolve, free. Professional features, proxy workflow. KDN Live, free, open source. Lightweight, good for basic editing. HitFilm Express, free, good for visual effects. For audio, Audacity, free. The standard runs on anything. Reaper, $60 with generous trial. Professional features, super efficient. For graphics, GIMP, free, like Photoshop but lighter. Inkscape, free, for vector graphics. Notice a pattern? You don't need Adobe Creative Cloud. The free alternatives work great on weak hardware. The right mindset. Creating content on a weak computer requires a different approach, but it's not a disadvantage. It's a different kind of advantage. You learn to work smarter, not harder. You can't just throw computing power at problems. You actually have to understand your tools and use them efficiently. You focus on what matters, the content itself, your storytelling, your message, your value to viewers. These things matter way more than having the fanciest transitions or effects. You develop problem-solving skills. When something doesn't work, you figure out why and fix it. These skills make you better at everything. And when you finally do upgrade something, even just adding more RAM or getting an SSD, it feels amazing because you know exactly what was holding you back. Real talk. Examples of potato specs. Let me be concrete. Here's what you can do on systems most people would call inadequate. 4 GB of RAM, integrated graphics, old CPU. Audio production? Yes. Basic video editing? Yes, with proxies. Streaming?
Yes, at 720p with hardware encoding. Graphics? Yes, simple projects. 8 gigabytes of RAM, entry-level GPU, mid-range CPU. Everything above, but more comfortable. 1080p streaming, more complex editing, better multitasking. You don't need a beast. You need knowledge and strategy. Start now, not later. The biggest mistake people make is waiting for better hardware before they start creating. Don't wait. Start with what you have. Learn OBS and hardware encoding, get comfortable with Audacity, figure out efficient video editing workflows. Make your first 10 videos even if they're not perfect. Because here's the thing, your audience doesn't see your computer specs. They don't know what resolution you edited at or how long your renders took. They just see the final video. If your content is valuable, entertaining, or helpful, they don't care if you made it on a $5,000 workstation or a $300 laptop. The content matters. Your message matters. The value you provide matters. Your RAM amount doesn't show up in the video. The bottom line, you can create professional-looking content on hardware that would make tech enthusiasts cry. People are doing it right now. Successful YouTubers, podcasters, streamers, many started on terrible computers and built audiences before upgrading. The limiting factor isn't your hardware. It's your willingness to learn efficient workflows, work strategically, and start creating instead of waiting for perfect conditions. So use what you have, learn the tricks, optimize your workflow, focus on content quality over production polish, and start creating today, not someday, when you have better hardware. Because someday might never come, but today is right here, right now, and you already have everything you need to begin. Your potato PC is good enough. Now go create something.
That's it for today's episode of System Reboot Zone. If you're still grinding, still optimizing, respect. You're rebuilding something legendary. Share this with your crew, drop your wins in the comments, and keep pushing. Until next time, stay mythic, stay relentless, and keep rebooting the system.